Hey, good afternoon. This is Mayor Mike Inman. We're at City Hall in Macomb, Illinois. It's Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. We are still under Governor Pritzker's mandated stay-at-home order, executive order. And I know it's been increasingly difficult as the weather has gotten nicer, especially on a day like today. We're in the mid-70s, to really focus on the intent of the governor's order. It's to encourage folks, and matter of fact, mandate folks to stay at home and limit your interaction in the public to keep from the spread of, to reduce the spread and minimize the spread as we continue to approach what has been estimated the peak in this virus in the state of Illinois, which is sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. We would encourage you to abide by it at every possible opportunity, and that means you should only be out engaging in the public for those essential services, such as going to the grocery store and to the banks or to get gas. And it really should be the number one priority for you as you go about your daily life. And some things have changed with the Center for Disease Control. Many of the same precautions that we've been talking to you about for the last several weeks are still in place. For example, washing your hands. That hand washing should take place even in the confines of your own home, especially if you've been out engaging in some of those very minimal but essential activities. So we'd remind you to do that, 20 seconds or longer. You should also be practicing some new social distance guidelines. As you may or may not be aware, the Center for Disease Control now recommends that all engagement in the public for those essential services, everyone should be donning a face mask. And there's every opportunity for you to find a method by which to either make them yourself or avail yourself of the items that you might need within your own home to make a face mask that would prevent you from, getting into the supply that's being reserved for what should be priority for our healthcare and first line folks and dealing with this pandemic. So again, those are available online, and you may be even seeing some suggestions from friends or hearing of some suggestions. Please avail yourself of that. We'll be encouraging that. We'll want you to understand that now is part of the CDC's guidelines for folks who are out in the public. We'd also remind you that as you're contemplating engaging in exercise, that you do that following the same guidelines that we've been stressing all along. So that means you should be only out engaging with folks from your own family unit. In other words, the folks that you're exposed to day in and day out. And you would have every expectation that of their contacts and who then where they've been, and therefore by minimizing the spread. You should not be engaging in outside activity that involves folks from outside your family unit or outside your home household. So again, the whole process here is designed to minimize and reduce the spread. And so when the peak surge comes in the next 7 to 10 days, that we've not created an overwhelming demand that our local hospital, our local EMS providers, our local medical folks are not able to deal with. That's the whole idea behind this order. And again, if you'd let that be the guide for the activities that you are engaging in, I think kind of that self-check, well, is this in the spirit of what we're really trying to accomplish here? And that's minimize interaction with the public. I'd like to encourage you that there are some signs in other parts of the country that this is done well in minimizing the spread, slowing the spread, bending the curve, however the language is you're used to hearing it. There are some anecdotal evidence that this is working, and we should continue to do that even in rural areas such as here in Macomb, where although the health department is still reporting no confirmed cases of COVID-19, I would tell you that the number of folks that have been tested is very small. It's less than 100 countywide. Now, that doesn't mean that other people have not been going to places like Springfield, Peoria, or Canton, where their primary care providers may be, or they've had some doctor or medical interaction there and they may have been tested there. But there are literally less than 100 folks that have been tested in our county for this. And again, I don't say that to alarm you. I say that to only be transparent and give an understanding and perspective of what we're saying and asking you to do. So there is every reason to assume that the virus is here and that we should be, in our public interactions, be mindful of that and limit your contact where at all possible. And when you are out, minimizing the time when you're out, and then now the suggestion would be to also utilize or avail yourself of the use of a face mask. If you need some suggestions on that, please check the hospital's website. And also remember that those services are being still provided through the nurse hotline. That number should be on your screen. And the hours of operation, although they've been slightly reduced due to lack of demand, they're still there, and that should be your primary route to being assessed if you're displaying any symptoms of any type of the symptoms that are listed in the CDC guidelines. And again, they'll be provided as we have been doing at the end of this video. We'd also remind our folks in the small business community, those federal and state programs are still available. We have folks here at City Hall through the Office of Community Development that are willing to assist you, help you, walk you through some of that over the phone or via the internet. And then those, if you're still unclear as to what programs are really out there, please check the Macomb Area Chamber of Commerce website. That information is on your screen now. They have a very, very well put together website that can lead you to those links and provide you the guidance that you need to avail yourselves of those programs. Also, Macomb Area Economic Development Corporation, they have information that should be able to assist in those endeavors too. So again, as we experience what is a very beautiful spring day here in Macomb, again, I cannot stress enough the importance of the stay-at-home order and complying with that. If you have any concerns, you can feel free to contact the office here at City Hall, either via the internet or the phone. We continue to be here and still engaged in city services. Those of you that are, actively engaged in following the guidelines, we want to thank you for that, and please encourage you to continue to do that and share that information with your sphere of influence and convince them to do that as well. We will continue to update you as we get additional news, and we thank you for what you're doing.